you'll be recognised.
Honourable delegate from China. Oh no,
I now call to order the United Nations Security Council to debate on Resolution 2391, the question of enclosures. Do I have a proposer from the floor? Please raise your placards now. United States, you've been recognised. Do I have a seconder from the floor? Please raise your placards now. Actually, you've been recognised. I now call the proposer to speak in favour of the resolution for up to 2 minutes.
All animals deserve freedom. The enclosures that many of our member states have put their zoological animals in is simply unacceptable. It is a constitutional right that all animals of the world need fair, free, and unimpeded access to free enclosures. We cannot have the state impinge upon their rights, for it is written in all of our constitutions. The United States strongly supports this resolution as a whole and supports the establishment of the Small Pool Liaisons Against Sharing Habitats, or SPLASH, to promote the right of all animals in partial water enclosures. This is very dear to the heart of the United States, for in Florida we have many such partial water enclosures, but we let our animals reign free because we recognise the rights of all crocodiles to go about their lives in freedom. Honourable delegates, I implore you to support the United States in this resolution and to work together to improve it for the betterment of us all.
Do I have any points of information from the floor? Please raise your placards now. China, you've been recognised.
Thank you. The Honourable Delegate from the United States, would you not agree that all animals deserve to feel that they are loved by the community and that they deserve a nice home for them to prosper and to create families in?
Absolutely, Delegate of China. The United States believes that all animals deserve the right to a safe and free home, and we believe that this home must not be impeded by humans or the state. Thank you.
I ask that the Honourable Delegate of the United States yield to the chair.
I yield to the chair.
Excellent. The seconder to speak in favour of the resolution for up to a minute.
Honourable delegates, Russia is strongly in favour of this resolution. Whilst we agree with the underlying premise, especially highlighted here in the preamble, we recognise that this resolution is flawed, and we would like to make several amendments. For example, we believe that birds should be free to chirp first and foremost whenever they want, but furthermore, if they are to be enforced to chirp at specific times, they should be naturally recognisable times to the birds, as this would, it'd be better for the birds' mental health. It would be better for the people. It would promote happiness and joy through all the world. So essentially, yes, they should only chirp. If we are to mandate when they should chirp, it should only be at dawn, dusk, and midday, and not closing time, this man-made imposition. Furthermore, we believe that an amount of order is necessary to structure and moderate animals' lives. We agree with the general premise. We disagree on how we come to that conclusion, because this resolution
I ask for the delegates to come to their closing remarks.
Yes, we support the resolution. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. I now ask for a point of information from the floor. Can you please raise your placards now? Honourable Delegate of the United States.
My dear friend, the Honourable Delegate for Russia, would you not agree that the best solution to making sure animals can freely chirp, call, sing, and chatter to their freedom rights is by removing all subclauses in Clause 1 as opposed to removing just Clause D?
No, I would not, because it says nowhere in the clause that birds can only chirp at those times. It only says that it implies that in addition to any other noises they are free to make in alignment with their constitutional freedoms, they must, on top of that, chirp in unison at dawn, dusk, and midday, and closing time, but I want to get rid of that.
Okay. I ask that the delegate yield to the chair.
I yield to the chair.
It's in order. Negotiation chamber is now open. I now open the speakers list, and I ask that anyone who would like to propose any amendments do so now.
To chair. No, the United States demands that all birds chirp at closing time.
Only at closing time.
At closing time.
No.
Birds.
Not very much. It's not very much.
But
about
it
the
ensures
Constitution.
it ensures a national
No.
spirit of freedom
No,
and
no.
democracy.
No, you're
How?
enforcing
Well, as
upon the
United
birds.
States, you know, you
Should
like freedom, yeah? So
not
why must you force the birds to do that?
Forcing birds to
Exactly.
chirp
Yeah,
at
it's
closing
not very
time
freedom.
gives them freedom.
because
Gives them freedom.
Absolutely.
To follow
The other thing that I want to change to the first one.
okay, I
You
want
know,
to change.
it says how like I don't
The
know.
monkeys are not
like,
mean. Monkeys
chirping.
help us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Shadow,
not.
sing, whatever.
Excuse me, can you sign
I feel
this?
like that's forcing
Monkeys are not mean.
We support
So you
them.
need to
We
write
support
like
freedom.
an
because,
amendment on your piece
they
of
gotta
paper
choose
to
whether they
change
want to
something.
Okay.
chirp, call, sing, chatter, or otherwise make noise in unison. And to add to that, people who walk through the zoo, they're gonna be like, you know, annoyed if it's too loud.
I think that's a great point, but it's also really good to like have the birds chirp at like these specific natural times. So like I think we should remove the fact that they should chirp at closing time, chirp rather at closing time.
You know,
Oh,
Because
hello.
there's, like, this
I
sort
think
of
that we should not
imposition
note that monkeys
on,
are mean
like,
because
these
monkeys are not
man-made
mean.
times.
Monkeys are
It's not a
not.
natural
But I'm having trouble
thing like
taking
midday
this
dawn
seriously.
dusk. So we should
I'm
remove
gonna
keep the
write
others
something and I will sign it.
provides a
Okay.
structured form
Hi, do you
to
mind
the
signing my
animals'
thing?
life.
What is it?
Do not know that monkeys are mean. Well, like, because monkeys actually know.
Also, you can't change the first page.
Is that
Aren't they like giving birds the right of freedom if they remove them?
The delegate
Yeah,
from
I
the
agree
de-
with you there.
Other way,
against
other way, other way.
The
We are giving the birds more freedom by
I'm out of the room.
preventing, by not forcing them to
Delegates.
chirp at closing time.
I ran out of room.
Negotiation chamber is now closed. Russia, you've been named.
You've been named.
Russia, we will be debating the USA's amendment, which is to add a new clause that demands that all nations constitutionally recognise the rights of animals to reign free in comfortable enclosures. I now ask the honourable delegate for the United States to speak on this amendment for a minute.
Honourable delegates, there is no stronger recognition of a right than for it to be enshrined in the Constitution written 600 years ago. What the United States proposes to do is to go back 600 years and rewrite the Constitution of every nation to make sure that 600 years later we can return to it and get the same understanding that all animals have the right to reign free. This is fundamental to the successful operation of our courts to recognise these fundamental rights and support the freedom and goodwill of all animals in the world.
I now ask for points of information. Please raise your placards now. Honourable Delegate for Kenya, you've been recognised.
Honourable gentlemen of the United States of America, would you not agree that by allowing like each and every animal to run free, it would like pose a security risk, as there are natural predators and like small prey animals that may be at risk if they were to run free?
Honourable delegate, there is no price too dear for freedom. What naysayers to this amendment propose is an authoritarian government that cracks down on the rights of animals, and a constitutional recognition is the only way that a society can achieve free reign for animals. There should be no limit to the rights that we afford animals, and it is integral that we all, as delegates, come together and support this amendment.
Yeah, so the delegate of the United States, please yield to the chair.
I yield to the chair.
We will now go on as to whether or not we want to debate this amendment proposed by the US. If you are for debating it, please raise your placards now. That's a majority. Okay, we will be debating this. This is now open for or against. I now invite China to speak in favour of this amendment. Thank you. You have a minute.
Honourable delegates, to begin this, animals have rights to be free, to be loved, to communicate with others.
The people don't.
Okay, that's another option, but yeah. So, socializing is very important. That's why we are here. We're a community. We like socializing. And why would you want to infringe the right of those animals? You know, by having a big enclosure that you can all communicate with, you can share ideas, share intelligence. You know, birds can talk to whales and learn how to swim. Lions can talk to ants and learn how to dig in a hole. You see, the community becomes stronger and more intelligent as a whole. And don't you think it encourages a better mental health to be out there touching grass and speaking to others? Or would you prefer that they be locked in their own cages? All animals kept to themselves, you know? Like, that's not very good, is it, for them? You know, they're not going to be very happy stuck with their own people. I mean, don't you prefer to go out there and to run the wall and talk to other people?
Time.
Okay.
Move across the speakers list to the against. I call the honourable delegate for France to speak for up to 30 seconds against this amendment.
Delegate of China, you said that it would affect the animals' mental health, but not all animals, and definitely the majority of them, do not have emotions like humans do. So, they haven't evolved in that way. So giving them rights wouldn't actually affect them in any way, and it would just be putting the lives of other like lives of endangered species in danger, because there'll be predators in that.
I ask how you wish to yield.
You can yield to the chair, you can yield to this someone else.
I yield to Russia.
That yield is in order. Delegate for Russia, you have 30 seconds.
Honourable delegates, we are strongly against this amendment. We do not believe that animals should have rights at all. And unlike the delegate for China, we will not mistreat our own people and then claim to support animal rights. We will remain
Order in the chamber.
and maintain that animals do not have rights. As such, we are against this amendment.
I ask that the delegate for Russia yield to the chair.
I agree.
Excellent, yield is in order. You now have 30 seconds of caucus time before we move to a vote.
How are we feeling on the amendment? Can you support the amendment?
Do you support freedom? Okay, so you support
I mean, as Brazil, we have a beautiful, luscious Amazon rainforest. We love to support that community.
I mean, as China, we would love to learn about your beautiful.
So if the birdies have nothing knows anyone about it, we need to go to war with the birdies.
I ask that you return to your seats. We will now move to a vote. Again, the options are for, against, or abstain. This is for the amendment only, not the resolution. If you're in favour of this amendment, please raise your placards now. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, awesome. Okay, if you're against this amendment, please raise your placards now. Okay, by the narrowest of narrow margins, let us pass.
Either write it or read the screen.
Oh. We have another amendment proposed by Russia to strike clause 1D. I ask that we move to a vote as to whether or not to debate this. Those in favour of debating, please raise your placards now. Okay, that's everyone. Great, we're going to debate it. Okay, I now ask the delegate for Russia to rise and speak for up to 1 minute in favour of this amendment.
Honourable delegates, as previously mentioned, yes, in my opening address, we believe that mandating birds to chirp in unison is an inherently good idea. However, the times at which they should be mandated to chirp in unison should not be bound by human constructs such as closing time, rather than naturally occurring markers such as dawn, dusk, and midday. This is better for community, it is better for the birds, it's better for their mental health, it's better for just everyone, to be honest. And hence, we would strongly urge you all to vote in favour of this amendment.
Are there any points of information from the floor? Please raise your placards now. China, you've been recognised.
I'm the Honourable Delegate of Russia. So you propose that the birds are not required to chirp at closing time, but are required to chirp 3 other times during the day. Yet you also encourage mental health of the birds. You see, personally, I believe that being forced to chirp at 3 times every single day infringes on their right to be free. Because what if the birds have a sore throat, you know? Like, they can't chirp 3 times a day. And imagine being waken up and forced to chirp like that. It's just...
I asked the delegate to make this a question.
Please refrain from making the birds chirp 3 times a day, and instead none, if you would like to consider it.
Question.
Please.
Question.
How do you feel about that?
Please respond.
Yeah, please respond.
If a bird has a sore throat, that sounds like a problem.
This is the imperial past of the Russian Federation coming back to haunt it. It seeks to ignore the fact that closing time is an important marker in our capitalist society, and this is the Russian Federation going back to its communist roots. We simply cannot afford, as a group of nations in the liberal world order, to allow Russia to make such amendments that undermine the free and capitalist spirit of our economy. My honourable delegates, if you support capitalism, if you support the free market, the United States strongly implores you to vote against this amendment. Thank you.
I agree that that the first clause just restricts the birds, and what Russia has suggested is helping them be free and helping them gain rights rather than rather than restricting them.
Honourable Delegate from France, I appreciate your concerns for the birds' well-being, and the United States absolutely stands behind the rights of all birds. However, chirping, singing, or chattering, or otherwise, at closing time is an honour for the birds. It must be clearly stated that to support the spirit of a nation and to support national progress, we must make sure all animals, and first and foremost birds, sing joyously at closing time.
I ask that the delegate from the United States yields to the chair.
I yield to the chair.
There's an order. You will now have 30 seconds of caucus time, please, amongst yourselves.
Okay. It's less confusing now.
Yeah, it is less confusing now.
The amendment you need the birds to chirp at closing time. It doesn't matter if they have a source.
As allowing predators in prey to bunch over one another is the equivalent to genocide.
Of course it is. Right outside.
On the back.
Chirping supports the freedom of the birds. Forcing birds to chirp is exercising their right to freedom.
That doesn't sound very constitutional.
They should have the right to make
Absolutely.
anything they want.
The Supreme
Wait,
Court
no.
said so.
I disagree.
You're wrong.
Because then if I sleep early, I'll get woken up.
To your country, this is
Having the birds chirp during closing time limits the freedom of us humans. Look at
absolutely.
Imagine if you having fun looking at cassowaries and then the birds start chirping, telling you to go home right now. How would that feel?
Delegate for China,
That's
if you dislike
Well, they chirp.
Well,
They
it's
go,
their,
stop,
their
you know?
right to chirp, and they
Delegate
must
for
chirp
China.
at closing time.
add an amendment saying that they're exempt if they have a source.
Russia, good night. We'll now move to a vote as to whether or not to adopt this amendment. All those in favour of this amendment, please raise your placards now. Those against this amendment, please raise your placards now. Awesome. And all those abstaining, please raise your placards now. Okay, this is tied, so it can't go through.
Yes.
Why do you think that?
Yeah, it is just another thing over here. So it's about the
Rights
constitution.
of monkeys and apes is imperative,
So if you want to
and
speak
yeah,
for or against that,
forcing
you
them to
can.
perform at least one
You just write
backflip
for or
per
against
cumulative
amendment.
10 minutes spent buck
Against.
scratching or per act of throwing
Yeah.
things at the
Thank you.
enclosure. It's just an infringement on their rights as animals. We are all animals here.
With your name.
Yeah.
I would generally agree.
While you're
To consider. Great. Love it.
more different. You're trying to.
You mind signing?
We will now be considering an amendment by Brazil, which is to strike clause 8, which is the clause that states further mandates that monkeys and apes perform at least one backflip per cumulative 10 minutes spent butt scratching or per act of throwing things at the enclosure. I now ask that we consider as to whether or not we are going to debate this. All those in favour of debating, please raise your placards now. Okay, all those against debating, please raise your placards now. You can't abstain in this vote, so you do have to, please.
Now.
Yeah, sorry. All those in favour of adopting this amendment, please raise your placards now. Okay, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, great. All those against, please raise your placards now. And all those abstaining. France. Okay, this passes. So please strike clause 8. We will now be considering a amendment from Kenya, which I believe is the addition of a new clause, that urges all nations to enforce separate enclosures for predators and prey, as complete freedom among all animals is mass genocide. If you wish to debate this amendment, please raise your placards now. What was it? Great, thank you. All those against debating this, please raise your placards now. Alright, we're going to be debating. The negotiation chamber is open. Please add your name to the speakers list. I now ask that Kenya rise and speak for up to a minute for this amendment.
Kenya believes that like having essentially like tigers and mice roam free together like in open fields is essentially just going to kill them, and like no matter how you argue, right? if you believe that, like, you know, you can allow like predators and prey to like roam together with one another and not expect them to like rip each other to shreds, you're delusional. And Kenya thinks that we should probably rethink our approach on like, you know,
defamatory language.
allowing them to roam free and perhaps just separate them instead to encourage greater safety and security among all animals.
Thank you, Honourable Delegate Kenya. Are there any points of information from the floor? Please raise your placards now. Brazil is recognised.
Kenya, would you not agree that keeping the predators and prey in the same enclosure is just encouraging the natural ecosystem, the circle of life, okay? It's just naturally how the world works, and it keeps that predator prey triangle going.
Thank you, Honourable Delegate of Brazil, for your answer. Now, it is essentially inevitable that like predators will fall down to their instincts and basically maul these animals to death, which I personally can't stand by as the delegate for Kenya, as we are a very peace-loving nation and we want nothing more than for all animals to prosper separately.
Okay, we're going to do a vote for the amendment. Those in favour of adopting this amendment, please raise your hands now. Right. Those not in favour of adopting this amendment, please raise your placards now. Those abstaining, please raise your placards now. That's great. Okay, that does not pass. Okay, we are going to move to a. Now we're going to vote on the resolution. You're going to have a 30-second caucus whilst it takes. So how are we feeling?
I get to like,
I don't need to.
have a feeling on the resolution.
Well, you can
Would
veto.
you consider
I
abstaining?
don't want to say anything bad about you. Like, I don't want closure.
Yeah,
but I'm going to figure it out, man. I can't.
Yeah, I don't want to
Because I can't help you. Because I can't POI you. Because there's no silence. I'm trying to realise that.
Are we feeling
I feel like-
I think we're supporting the lives of animals.
You know, like,
I
like talking to you guys and imagine like
Because the thing is, they're still going to eat. And animals don't have a bottomless stomach.
For the
They
resolution.
stop
But
eating
you don't
vegetables.
even
I'm like,
constitute
they
constitute
they're going to
constitute
eat the predators.
So this is
They're
really
going to
not
eat the rats.
Four is good. Four is good.
Otherwise, how do you what?
But I thought it was just the amendment.
Oh, now it's all of you. Now it's over.
Brazil, you've been named.
Okay. Right. We'll now move to the right of reply. I asked, is the delegate for the United States still in favour of this resolution?
The United States is.
Great. Would you like to stand and speak for up to a minute of your right of reply?
Honourable delegates, we have done good work here today. We have made two key improvements. One, we have reduced the mandates placed on monkeys and apes, which were cruel and limited their freedom, to make sure that monkeys have the same rights afforded to all animals. Moreover, we have made strides in attempting to constitutionally recognise the rights of all animals to reign free in captive enclosures. This supports all of our collective understanding that animals deserve rights and that freedom must be pursued at any cost. Honourable delegates, the United States strongly implores all of you to vote for this resolution.
We will now move to a final vote on the resolution. This will be done in alphabetical order, so you don't need to raise your placards. Brazil.
Yes.
Four. Okay. Four. Thank you. Sorry, God.
People's Republic.
People's Republic of China. 4. The United States.
4.
Okay. France.
Against.
The Republic of
Okay, right. India.
The Republic of India.
The Republic of India.
Against.
Okay.
What?
I don't want to first.
Against.
Russia.
Against.
Okay.
Double veto!
This is a double veto, by the way, because France has vetoed.
I am aware.
With the great powers not in alignment, this does not pass. Commiserations. But you still did great, so congratulations.
Yeah!
Separating the prey and the predator, that is the complete opposite of what we want. We want freedom, we want communication, we want the natural way of life for all animals to interact with each other, whether it be talking over dinner or having them for dinner, you know?